Managing pastures throughout the year requires tactful management and informed decision making. Tactical grazing management is just that, a flexible grazing management system that keeps track of livestock demand, pastures capacity, along with seasonal changes when drawing grazing management decisions. Hi, I'm Ollie from Pasture-io. Tap the subscribe and like button if you find this video interesting. We'll be discussing how tactical grazing or tactical farm managers such as yourself are using smart approaches to performing management tasks efficiently. The areas that efficient managers focus on include keeping pasture utilisation at its highest level, ensuring that ground cover targets are met, tracking a seasonal feed budget, consideration of pasture targets and capacity, recording grazing plans and incorporating them into future decision making. Today we will discuss what tactical grazing management ought to achieve and define its objectives. We will formulate management strategies that farms can switch between according to season and growth targets. Finally, we will break down tactics for specific conditions. There are a lot of takeaways for you as a farmer, so let's get started. First up, what is the aim of tactical grazing management? Our aim behind adopting tactics is to make most of what pasture has to offer. To that end, we tirelessly investigate, experiment, and finally discover ways that best fit every unique farm. Tactical grazing management offers the following benefits. It aims to reduce the cost of your production. It promotes the growth of crops. It hinders the regrowth or growth of weeds on your farm. It effectively increases the stocking rate. It maximizes pasture utilization. It optimizes pasture productivity. It boosts the production of your livestock and it increases the efficiency of your feeding management plan. And tactical grazing management helps you move forwards. It helps you move towards sustainable pasture management by reducing the harmful environmental impacts such as waterlogging, erosion, salinity, and a reduction in nutrient value. Keeping in mind all these achievable aims make tactical grazing management a panacea to the various pasture troubles. Farms across the world use a mix of methods to ensure their pasture management is up to the mark. Without further ado, we'll delve into the ways of grasping this tactical management. Number one, maximize pasture utilization. Set a rotational grazing system by incorporating time and pasture growth, paddock division and subdivision, stocking rates and calving times. Know that the best time for rotational grazing is all year round, which makes things easier. Also, apply a rotational grazing system in a way to avoid selective or patch grazing. Number two, enhance pasture growth rotational grazing when based on plant regrowth or plant growth has the potential of increasing pasture growth up to a whopping 20%. Calculating kilograms of dry matter per hectare, plant height and leaf stage all help in setting tactical rotational grazing. Set rotational grazing throughout the year for perennial grasses and to produce a favourable long-term impact on pasture composition. You can also use rotational grazing to achieve pasture growth for a specific season like winter. Number three, control and manage stock intake. To efficiently manage and control the stock intake, i.e. kilograms of dry matter per hectare per day per animal, set the rotational grazing parameters on criteria of animal intake during critical periods like pregnancy or all year long in case of growing bulls for beef or milking cows. Number four, evaluate and ensure specific livestock management needs. Utilize flexibility when choosing between set stocking or rotational grazing. Set stocking works better for lambs and for managing single sire mating. It also is effective for controlling disease like foot rot or any other outbreak. On the other hand, rotational grazing is more effective when it comes to evaluating and monitoring livestock performance regularly and for controlling internal parasites. Therefore, it is recommended to choose a combination of both grazing methods when practical, according to the specific pasture goals and set targets. Number five, optimize pasture composition. There can be 4 different approaches to optimizing pasture composition. The first is to produce more perennial grass. Rotational grazing systems have a lot to give when it comes to promoting healthy grass content. When rotational grazing is based on time or plant growth stage, it reduces the growth chances for broadleaf weeds and annual grasses. By choosing a rotational grazing system, you can tactically lay it for rest over the summer. The second is to lead to high subclover content. Increasing grazing pressure and reducing the rest period for late winter and early spring under rotational grazing can lead to an increase in the subclover ratio. The third is to minimise annual grasses and weeds. By setting the pasture to rest over the winter helps minimise tillering and minimises the annual grasses and weeds. The fourth is to manage woodland thickening. Utilise controlled and well planned burning after considering the seasonal conditions. Moving on to number 6, increased persistence of perennials. So it is tactical to use the rotational grazing system for perennials. The period of rest between grazings is crucial for growth and persistence as perennial grasses rebuild their root reserves. The seed selection process is of the essence when planting perennial grasses. Care needs to be taken in case of less drought-resistant perennial grasses such as cockswood and perennial ryegrass. They need to be put to rest in a dry, warm season or not grazed intensively. The last point, number 7, enhance environmental sustainability. A tactical grazing system addresses the need for environmental sustainability. As a rotational grazing system is designed to maximise the perennial content, while efficiently utilising water and meeting the targets of ground cover, fulfills the criteria of environmental sustainability. Set stocking can also be sustainable given a low stocking rate, homogeneous typography and low erosion risk. One last piece is a bonus point, number 8. So occasional set stocking to meet some other production objectives would not compromise the sustainability of the rotational grazing system. Be sure to use this flexibility to your advantage. Tactical grazing management is a win-win for pasture productivity and management. It has the potential of producing more gains and returns from efficient planning and management. This brings us to an end. Remember to hit that subscribe button and thumbs up, and we'll meet again in another video.